Staying in the Middle East, rebuke to Washington. Iran's top Araghchi has dismissed the idea of the United States, calling them meaningless. Come just days after US President Donald Trump says he prefers direct talks over intermediaries on nuclear program. Araghchi meaningful diplomacy. US continues to issue military threats, signal statements. He reopened talks, warned to defend its sovereignty if provoked. Meanwhile, the Iranian president echoed a similar sentiment, saying Iran is ready for dialogue, but only on equal footing. Tensions have been mounting after President Trump warned of bombings and secondary tariffs if Iran refuses to reach a nuclear deal with Washington. We are joined by Dr. Punsara Amara-Singh from the Koltalawala Defence University located in Colombo. Thank you very much for joining us. Dr. Punsara, why do you think that this Iranian foreign minister considers direct negotiations with the United States meaningless? Is it because of who is sat in the Oval Office right now?
I think it is mainly due to the real political structure that the Tehran is facing under the grip of Donald Trump. So you must look at the history of the Iranian-US relations for past couple of decades. When Obama was in power in 2015, they made a joint proclamation, a joint dialogue consisting of the United States and several European countries, which lifted up certain sanctions imposed by United States on Iran by paving the path for more lenient dialogues in the long run. But when President Trump came to power in 2016, right within 2 years, the US withdrew from the action plan. So Iran was devastated, and the Tehran regime lost its trust in the liberal international legal order, especially. And also, you must not forget the trajectories which set the path under President Trump that further undermine the relations between Washington and the Tehran. We can't forget the way how General Soleimani was assassinated in year 2020, the 2nd of January, right after the assassination, and President Trump tweeted targeting that the Washington will destroy even the cultural properties, right? Even the cultural symbolic values in Iran. I mean, come on, that's a blatant violation of international law. So this is the perception that Iranian perceives towards Donald Trump, who is sitting at the Oval Office right now. So it is in this context that we need to understand and we need to assess the relationship between Tehran and the United States. And I'm not surprised by the fact that the Iranian diplomat, the foreign minister's rejection over the President Trump's direct deal with Iran, saying that, ignoring it as a fallacy or as a meaningless one. Because why? Because there is no equal footing in the real politics.
Yes, Dr. Amara-Singh, Donald Trump has been very vocal on his threats of bombing and secondary tariffs. How do you see these threats influencing Iran's decision-making process, both in the short term and in the long term?
I mean, come on, that no one is no one is privy to that. Even countries such as located in South Asia, even my country. So we are being imposed approximately 47% of the tariff, right? So I mean, I'm clearly aware of the real geopolitical and economic implications emanating from the tariff order. I'm sure that Iran, as a country which has a significant percentage of the world oil market, is likely to suffer under this tariff. It will add one more brick to the economic collapse of Tehran. So if you just go through the statistics from the Middle East, if you just go through what is exactly happening in Iran after the death of Raisi last year, right, the Iranian, the former president, the country is on a brink of a total economic eclipse. Besides the sanctions imposed by EU and the United States of America, the economic regime is not functioning well. So this is something that you cannot ignore these factors, and this tariff issue will definitely undermine and it will escalate Iran's the economic devastations further in the days to come.
Yes. One final question. Do you believe there is a realistic path to a revised agreement here between Washington and Tehran?
Yes, I think if it needs to be a realistic term, if it needs to be more realistic, there must be a consensus between Tehran and the Washington, so which we can't foresee it in near future because both parties are not trusting each other, regardless of President Trump's rhetoric saying that he is willing to deal directly with Iran. I mean, basically, it was during Donald Trump's period that the United States withdrew from the joint declaration by undermining the nuclear, like the joint declaration inaugurated by Obama. So in order to maintain more realistic terms, there must be equal footings between United States and Iran. So that has to be accomplished before reaching any further agreements.
Yes.
And also don't forget that Iran is I would say, it's a spiritual country. It's a theocratic state, wherein besides the president and the advisors around the president, you have Khamenei as the spiritual leader. And Khamenei, only for the Khamenei, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard would be responsible, right? Iranian Revolutionary Guard carries the
Dr.
fundamental...
Pansara Amarasinghe, thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. We now move on to more news updates.